Hi, how are you all today? Thanks so much for so many of you who gave me great feedback on yesterday's new style video. On this video, I'm going to be trying out another new style and I'm going to be interviewing myself. Why am I doing this? For what reason? I'm doing this in order to put my message out with absolute clarity and in order to have my audience engaged. Please leave feedback for what I'm doing today, this new style, down below. Thank you. My name is Jessica Maden. On my channel here on YouTube, I help people raise their awareness and become very successful as a result. I share the great tips and amazing lessons which I picked up throughout my life, and the great tips and amazing lessons which I pick up every single day. Reminding you once again that the 100th subscriber to my channel here on YouTube will receive from me a free gift, and the shipping of that gift will also be for free on the house. Just press that subscribe button and be the 100th subscriber. Without further ado, let's get into this new style of me interviewing myself. Hi Jessica, how are you today? I'm fine. And how are you today? I'm fine, thank you. Today I want to ask you a couple of questions and I want to hear some feedback from you and I want to hear your responses as well. Question number one. What do you think about gaslighting? I've actually noticed that you change your stance on the concept of gaslighting. Please let the audience know what your thoughts are on gaslighting and why you've changed your perspective and what did you change in your perspective on this topic and how has it helped you specifically? Where do I start on this one? Okay. Right, let me give you a bit of a background to where the term gaslighting actually comes from. The term gaslighting comes from a film that came out in 1941. In that film, there was a guy who was deceiving his wife. Whilst he was having an affair with a woman out of the marriage, he was continuously deceiving his wife. And she picked up on the clues. She figured out that he must be having an affair. He'd been gone for a couple of weeks, etc. So she really picked up on the clues. But what he did was he played around with the fuse in the house and looked like the lights were dimming. And every time his wife complained about him having an affair, he would say to her, you must be imagining it. You must be imagining it. You're also imagining the lights are dim, right? And she said, seems like he's right. So it was a psychological kind of warfare which he was playing. And he'd be gone for a couple of weeks. Eventually he was caught and he was arrested in the film. But specifically, the term gaslighting came out from this specific story. Now, there are people who don't know the term and they prefer not to use the term. They prefer not to believe in the term. These people tend to be people who enjoy cunning others and manipulating others. But generally, people try not to manipulate others with psychological means of doing that. Now, why have I changed my perspective on this particular means of manipulation? Because I find that when we let go of the I'm a victim mentality, we let go. As a result of us letting go, we effectively allow ourselves not to walk down that narrative of I am a victim. A lot of people go through life saying I am a victim, and life creates that pathway for them. They are a victim. As a result, people pity them. Nobody's going to hire them for a job because they are a victim. And quite literally, life unfolds exactly as they manipulate it themselves. So obviously, they are victims, and it's not their means, it's not by choice, and they were a victim of somebody's means of manipulation. But the most important and the most vital thing for a person to do is to actually ground themselves and to believe in themselves to their core. How do you do this? You do this by good means of um, meditating, eating well, sleeping well, not answering back, not listening to your ego, not following your ego. These are hard things which I've been working on for quite some time now. And Rome wasn't built in a day, but I have found that I have changed my narrative in many ways, and I don't get coalesced into means of manipulation and coercion anymore. People don't gaslight me anymore as such. I do get the occasional gaslighter on Facebook, people who send me friend requests, and they start gaslighting me like, what are you saying? When somebody says what you're saying, often it's because they want to manipulate you and they want to make you not believe in what you're saying. It's psychological warfare. And the best thing is to learn the psychological warfare and not become that victim anymore and not become a victim as a result. I'm very quick on picking up when somebody's gaslighting and I don't engage. Just don't engage. Let go of your ego because your ego says engage, answer back. It's really important to answer back. I don't answer back anymore. I've come along quite well and I've learned the tricks of the trade. That's really interesting. Jessica, you know, I remember you telling me when you were in a film in September and you acted and you had to, at times you had to change your behavior and demeanor within a split second. I was thinking, it would be really good if you could share with us what that was like, what that felt like. And I think people would really gain from it. I'm not really sure I understand how that correlates to the concept, to the topic of gaslighting. I don't really understand how it correlates, but I'm happy to share. But after I share, I'd appreciate if you could kindly tell me how it correlates. I don't really understand how the two are correlated. In September, I acted as a star assistant in a film, and it was a fascinating experience. I've put out a couple of episodes, and I'm going to share it in the comment section, in the the title section down below. I'm going to share what that was like. I'm going to share a link to a video which I put out on the topic. It was a fascinating experience. I wrote down over 150 different pointers of the day. It was fascinating. I'll start off with the very, very, very beginning. And that was the day that we went to be measured up for costumes. And it felt surreal being put in a costume that was almost 100 years old. Because we had to wear clothing that women wore in the 1930s. So it was pretty fascinating. And then they took pictures of us. And then everything was measured up to be just right. And if you weren't the right fit, you were told not to come back. I was the right fit, so I was told to come back. I guess I looked Jewish enough. It was about measuring up. They needed Jewish refugees, needed people who looked like refugees from the 1930s. I looked Jewish enough, obviously, so I was told to come back. In the film, I was set up with a guy. I don't remember his name. The first guy, I don't remember his name. He was to be my husband. And we had some great conversations whilst we were acting as husband and wife. And whilst we were walking down like an alleyway, all of a sudden the director said, nope, I don't like how that looks. You two switch. And so I changed husbands within 2 seconds. And my new husband joked, and he said that was the quickest divorce and marriage that has ever happened. It was a fascinating experience. And yeah, we had to change our behavior within our demeanor, within what I would consider to be like 2 seconds practically. It was a fascinating experience. And I did learn from that experience, and I came out of it as well thinking that, life is actually, I mean, so often life, what we do is acting. We act in life. And because we act in life, we could actually change a lot. Because we wear clothing to please our neighbors. Um, we won't wear certain clothing because our neighbors don't like it. We won't tell our mother the same type of things we would tell our friends, and we would reserve what we would tell our mother. Sorry, we would reserve what we would say to our mother to our friends. We're always acting. We're constantly in life acting, and yet that was a very surreal experience. But again, I don't really understand how the two concepts, gaslighting and the acting in a film, actually correlate. Confused, and I wouldn't mind if you could be ever so kind and explain how the two concepts correlate. Sure, I will explain what that means. I'll explain what I meant by that and how that correlates to the concept of gaslighting. You know, we go through life acting, and you touched on that before. And we could change our act within a second. In conversation with our mother, we tell our mother only certain things. We're in conversation with our friends. We don't talk to our friends the same conversations and the same topics we have with our mothers. And a similar note when it comes to conversations with our preacher, our rabbi, or our priest, or whatever faith you are from. We stay away. We reserve a lot of what we want to say, and we are actually acting. Most of our life we are in act. And because we are in act mode, we can hence understand why people who gaslight are just actors, and like they're acting and like they're manipulating us psychologically, we could just not play along and know how to set our boundaries, make it really, really understood. And when you're dealing with people who violate your boundaries, you need to really, really set your boundaries down firmly. So we need to set our boundaries down firmly and act according to how we have to act with that particular person who's a manipulator and a gaslighter. So yeah, that's how the two concepts relate. Thank you. That does seem to add up. That seems to make sense to me now. Yeah, and it helps me, that experience, reminiscing what it was like acting in a film, it helps me understand and connect the two. I could connect and realize that I do have within me the ability to realize when people are manipulating and they're doing an act as an actor. And all I have to do is act accordingly, like I do with, like, the same way you would act with a child who's trying to manipulate you. You know how to act with an adult who's trying to manipulate you, and you just don't play along. And you put on an act which has to be put on in order to protect your boundaries. That was very informative, and I think that was a very, very helpful tip. And I hope my audience as well thinks that was a great tip. That was pretty cool. I think it was really good. Thanks so much for interviewing me today, interviewer. It was a fascinating experience, and I look forward to being interviewed by you again. Thank you. Wow, that was really, really fascinating. That was really cool stuff. Wow. What did you think of that? Did you think that was good? That was an interesting experience? I found that it helped me think, helped me gain clarity in my own thoughts, why I think the things I think. We have a lot of thoughts, and we don't challenge ourselves to understand why we have those thoughts. We don't challenge ourselves to understand why we make certain decisions. We just go along with beliefs we've had for 40, 50 years. And often enough, those beliefs would be very well structured and a lot better understood if we properly understood it and we were properly able to grapple with those thoughts and substantiate them. What do you think? My dear audience, what do you think about today's interview? Did you enjoy it? Do you want me to do it again? Do you think you gained certain clarity as well on your part? Please let me know in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, why not press the like button? It's that easy. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why not press that subscribe button? It's that easy. And please feel free to share this video with all your friends, acquaintances, family on social media. Wherever they are, feel free. I give you my full permission to share away. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and I look forward to seeing your comments today. I'm sending you lots of love, high vibes, and high frequency. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.